Boker Tov. We are continuing Mishlei Perek Chavbet Pasuk Vav, probably one of the most famous pasukim in Mishlei. Chanoch lanar al pi darko, gam ki yezkin lo yasur mimena. This is the pasuk of chinuch, of teaching our children, our students. Chanoch lanar al pi darko. Teach a young man, teach a child on his derech, on his path. And then gam ki yaskin, even when he gets old, lo yasur mimena, he won't drift away from that path. So this is teaching a child on his path. You have some children that are naturally more wild and more quiet, and so you have to know your child, you have to know the student, you have to read the student, read, well, you know what, if I'm going to act like in the same box with every kid, it's not going to work. I got to, move myself to see this kid is a little bit more wild, I got to give him a little more treats, I got to give him more attention. Each one, chanoch lanar al pi darko, according to his path. This is very, very important when it comes to teaching our children, teaching our students. So the Gaon of Vilna, he says as follows. He adds to this in the following way. He says that everyone's born in a horoscope, in a mazal. So there's a mazal that in general is a bad mazal, but that a person could change, not the mazal, but could adapt, because you're stuck in that horoscope. You're stuck in that's where you're born. But you could use that and switch it to the good. For instance, he says ma'adim. If someone could tell me what ma'adim is in English, so is Mars? Is that, I know it's Mars. What's it's one of the horoscopes? Mars? One of the planets. What's is it one of the 12 horoscopes? Like Virgo, Sagittarius, this one is it Mars? No. So is there something to do with red? Something to do with fire? That has to do with one of the horoscopes? It's kind of the planets, red. But ma'adim. Says there's one of the mazalot is called ma'adim in Hebrew, and ma'adim from the word adom. So in general, it's a little bit a bad mazal that naturally a person could have a tendency drawn to blood. It says do ma'adim adom, naturally drawn to blood. So the Gemara says that natural kind of inclination for blood could be for, God forbid, murder, but a person has the choice, a person has the bechira, even though you're in that, you could channel that to being a mohel, which also has to do with blood, or a shochet, which also has to do with blood. And therefore, he says a person could take whatever mazal you're born in and channel it to be a tzaddik, a mohel, a benoni, a regular guy, which is a shochet. I don't know why he doesn't put the shochet in the tzaddik also. He says shochet benoni, but God forbid a rasha that has to do with murder. Everyone could. So al pi darko. So he says that if you see a child that's born in a certain mazal, so he says also he brings a proof just before that. He brings a proof that David HaMelech, that Shmuel HaNavi, when he first saw David HaMelech, he wasn't so convinced because he saw on his face. He saw that he was from Ma'adim. So he was nervous. But then when he saw him more, he saw he was Ma'avir Amidotav. He saw that he was a person that he overcame he overcame that natural mazal that he was born in. Just to add to this, there's a famous midrash, we have another minute, there's a famous midrash brought down at the end of in Masechet Kiddushin, at the end of one of the Pirush Tiferet Israel. It brings down this midrash that there was a king that heard about Moshe Rabbeinu, and he wanted to get his worker to paint a picture of Moshe Rabbeinu. I want to see how he looks. So he sent them to paint a picture of Moshe Rabbeinu. He came back, and the picture looked like a rough type of guy. So he said, no, you're not good. Then he sent another guy. He sends another guy, he comes back. He says, again, the picture of Moshe Rabbeinu looked like a rough personality, etc. He says, you know what, I don't trust you guys, let me go myself. And this king goes himself and he meets Moshe Rabbeinu, and indeed, that's how he looked at the outside. So he tells him, you look like from the way you look like a rough. So he said, I was born in a tough mazal, that's naturally my tendency, but I overcame all that to be the Moshe Rabbeinu that he became. So this is everyone that could be born in something, but it's their choice they're working on things to change themselves. So he says, that's what he says over here. Chanoch lanar al pi darko. Teach your child based on his mazal, based on his situation, to do mitzvot and to mold him according to his mazal. And then when he gets older, he'll continue in that path. But he says, Aval ka'asher ta'aviru al mazalo. Let's say you treat him like a different mazal. You teach him in the box, too bad, I don't care, this is your behavior, I don't care, this is how I'm treating you, in this box. Then he says, when you release yourself from him, because he gets older or whatever, he's going to go off on a different path, God forbid. So to train your child, al-pi, darko, a very, very important pasuk in our raising of children and Talmidim. Baruch Adonai La'olam. Amen. Ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akasha Martzah Kadosh Baruch Hu Lizakot. Et Yisrael Leficha Chiva Lehem Torah Mitzvah Shenemar Adonai Hafetz Man Tzidko. Yigdil Torah ve'yadir.